Hey everyone, Aleki here. Thank you for joining me for more Space Haven in episode 2, Alien Bait. So now we have a source of power other than the solar panels. The Energium power generator, as its name implies, will consume Energium, and we have 5 units of Energium that we started with. The rest we will need to either trade or mine, and some of these, I believe, give Energium, the bluish ones. It can also be mined on asteroids that arrive in the system. But for now, it wants me to build a light. That is under furniture. And I'm gonna put the light in here. In the bedroom, so that they have some light when they're eating. Okay, this cargo shell is completely emptied. I'm also gonna start building another pod hangar. So I'm gonna unpause that. Okay, build a kitchen or an algae dispenser. The kitchen prepares meals with raw food. Meals from the kitchen will help maintain optimal positive health and mood for crew members. Once constructed, select the kitchen and open up the settings to create your own meal recipe. Place a table and chairs nearby to create a proper dining room for your crew members. Or an algae dispenser. Nobody likes eating algae, but it's marginally better than starving to death. Keeps the crew alive, but can affect their health and mood due to an unpleasant texture and suboptimal nutrient levels. This facility does not produce crates. Crew members use it directly to acquire a meal for themselves if there's nothing better to eat. So for the moment, I'm gonna keep them eating algae. They don't like their kitchen or algae dispenser to be too close to their bedroom area. So I'm gonna expand the hull a little bit over here. And that's not big enough. I'm not gonna bother building in that alcove. And build them a kitchen like that. And I'm realizing this toilet is in the way, so I'm gonna build another alcove where I can move the toilet. Oh no, they disassembled the toilet, but then they went on break, so they're not gonna have a toilet. So I'm gonna change their schedule a little bit, just for now. Gonna force them to work for a couple of hours, essentially shift their free and sleep time a bit later, just so that they can build that toilet and then still get to use it. And good thing I did that, because as you see, they are waking up through the night to use the toilet. Now I'm gonna fix that schedule back to what it was after they finish their morning free time. And this is one of the nice things about having group shifts, because that way I can edit it for all 4 of them at the same time. Also want to take advantage of the ones who are not working right now and send them over here to pick up items, because we do have those guns and I want them to be armed so that we can explore that derelict in a little bit. Felix is the one with the best weapon skill, so he's gonna grab the shotgun. If you click this box next to it, it's gonna make it as part of his default loadout. So each one of them has a loadout, and that box indicates that whatever they're holding is part of the loadout. So don't need Felix drafted anymore. Freya's gonna grab a sidearm and also make that part of her standard load. And Alina's gonna grab a sidearm as well. And we didn't get one. Grant. So let's draft Grant and have him pick up his sidearm as well. And I'm gonna build out... That interrupted the building. Okay. He's got his weapon too. I think we're in an okay place to go on an away mission. Well, actually, no, that's a different feature that we'll deal with later. But to go explore the derelict. So I'm gonna draft everybody, load them up into the shell, which also becomes drafted. Wait for them to actually get in. The 4 dots indicate the 4 seats in the shell, and the bar indicates the cargo. And then tell the shell to dock with one of the points on the derelict. I like using these areas where the derelict is broken as a point of access, because I feel it's a lot less confined than going in through an airlock. So let's get that shell arriving. And then once it docks with its temporary platform, and click here to get them to exit the craft. So let's go see what is on the... Oh, and it's aliens. The aliens are a preferred starter enemy compared to the bots, because these starter aliens do not have a ranged attack. And they cannot fly in space. So when we float out of their reach, there is nothing they can do to our people. They will try to run away like that, so we will need to bait them back. Yeah, let's grab Grant. Send him ahead to be alien bait. Oh. Almost got bit there. If you right click on the doors, they will open up the doors. Oh, you got a bite there. I should have been more cautious. Okay, open up that door. Make sure they're well embaited. And right, now we can grab everybody and move in. This is a large room. It's got a good line of sight, I would say. Okay, let's use Freya as the alien bait next. In case you're wondering, the 3 bars that they have above their heads are health, being in red, and yellow is their energy. They will pass out if they run out of that. And blue is their oxygen. They will suffocate if they run out of that. And we found a hidden item by searching there. I'm not gonna pick it up because when we loot the whole thing, we'll be able to just ship it to our cargo. There's another place I can search there. And found an incendiary grenade launcher. But we do need a rifle. It's an underbarrel that attaches to rifle. Okay, this area is cleared. Now we could go across that gap, or we can walk through the hallway over here. Let's give Alina a turn. And found a combat stimulant. And over here there is a data log. That's a piece of game lore that gets added to our files. Okay, how... oh, I guess there wasn't a door there. I thought there might be a door there, but we have to go through this gap anyway. Search that spot. Nothing found there. And we are almost at the end of the derelict. And once we uncovered essentially all of it, and there are no enemies left alive, we get the option to undraft, or we can continue to draft if there's something we need to specifically do. But for now, I'm going to undraft them. And clicking this icon above the derelict is going to let me choose the loot that I want. So I want to select all the loot other than the alien bodies, because I don't have a storage for those just yet. And I'm going to click to transfer all of that. So we found 4 energium, which is good. That's what our generator is going to be burning, and a bunch of other things. Then there's the salvage. The salvage is essentially them breaking down these leftover walls, engines, whatever is left on the derelict, to get some scrap. And scrap we'll be able to later process into blocks, like the hull blocks and so on. So we're gonna let them get to work. I selected all the salvage because right now we're short on everything. I want them to just strip this thing to its bones and bring all of the stuff back. Okay, meanwhile, we do have that... oh, here we have the same issue. We built up and I did not build a temperature regulator, so let's add a temperature regulator next to the toilet there. And again, I want this to be a high priority because I don't want needless damage. I should be more careful with that. And I'm also going to build out the hull so that the 2 areas are connected internally. That way they won't have to change into a spacesuit and go outside the base to go from bedroom to their work area. Now, looking at the overlay, there is a comfort overlay and it has 3 modes. There's the work comfort, leisure time comfort, and sleep comfort. And as you can see by the colors, it's not too good. So if we look at the sleep comfort over here where their beds are, they are not happy because the oxygen generator gives a -7 and the gas scrubber gives a -5. So we want to move these things away or separate them with a wall so that they're not ruining their sleep. As far as leisure, which is where what refers to their free time and eating time and so on, they don't like that they have the oxygen generator, the gas scrubber, and the beds next to their table. And for work, they generally don't like, again, being next to oxygen generators and things like that. So let's see about improving that a little bit. And what I'm gonna do is add some more hull over here. We're gonna make a very small dedicated bedroom. Let's see, that would be just enough for 2 of the beds. And we have a new visitor ship. See what they're trading. We already sold some of the nuts. I'm gonna sell a few of the fruits. Again, they're paying a markup for that. They're not offering anything at a good price. I almost never see the hull blocks on sale. I'm gonna buy 2 of those, but take the rest as cash. And let's build that algae dispenser. I'm not gonna let them have a kitchen just yet. We can up the speed while they're sleeping. The second pod, the second pod hangar that we built out, I'm gonna have it build a miner pod. We haven't encountered a mineable asteroid yet, but I'm gonna just have that built, have it ready for when one does visit us. And we're getting a call from the Merchant Federation. Unfortunately, we don't have an operations console to answer that call. So I'm going to see if I can quickly build one. Probably not going to get that built in time. But we'll give that a shot. I'll put it over here. For now. Everything will get relocated in time as we build dedicated rooms. And I do want that to be a high construction priority. See if we can answer this call. But everybody's overworking on the derelicts, stripping it down at the moment. Okay, and the next objective is build a hull stabilizer. Hull stabilizers provide multiple functions for your spaceship. Stability. Hull stabilizers reinforce the spaceship's hull, strengthening its frame and generally improving structural integrity. Multiple stabilizers can work in unison to bolster the hull far beyond its normal limits. Hyperjump capability. Sufficient hull stability is also needed for hyperspace jump capability. Of course, since we are a starbase, we're not going to be doing any hyperjumps, but we do want a build to build this hull stabilizer. So on the system, I'm going to build one of those. I'm going to put it back here. Let's move this thermal regulator first, and that's going to be a higher priority. Okay, and they are building the ops console. So now I can answer that communication request. We do need somebody to come man this ops console before the call will go through, so let's see. Felix, I think, is headed for it. Yeah. Spacefarer, our stock is running dry. We'll offer a fair price for your resources. Let's strike a deal. They want 3 steel plates. And we have 12 steel plates. And they're willing to pay 732 credits. This is a very, very good price that they're giving us for these. And it'll boost our relationship with them by 2 as well. So I'm going to take this deal and help them out with 3 steel plates. And now that we have an ops console, we can actually hail them as well. So let's take a look at what you can do when you're hailing a ship. You can negotiate permission to visit ship, share vision, or permission to hire or dismiss crew. None of those were on good enough terms to have any success at. The chance is 0, so we can't even try. You can take a loan at 11.1% interest for 17 days. We can take various amounts, which that is a very high interest and I don't have a way to pay back or a very pressing need for credits. We can make them an offer basically give them a gift to improve our relationship. So we could give 206 credits and 2 energy blocks to gain 4 relationship, or give them 206 credits, 3 energy block, and 3 artificial meat. Right now we can't afford to be giving handouts, so we're not gonna do that. You can declare war on their faction, or initiate trade missions, or say goodbye. I believe I already checked their trades. Yes, I have. So, nothing that we actually want to communicate with them right now. Okay, and Grant moved the thermal regulator. So, now I can build that hull stabilizer or one of it. I'm trying to pack all these system things that don't require being visited too often all together. And it's warning me that we are low on critical resources, Hyperium. Hyperium is used for hyperspace travel, which we will not be doing. So that warning can be turned off. Let me try to remember where. You can customize which resources trigger a notification in the resource display settings, located in the upper left ship information bar. Okay, this is... Oh, that's the map. Oh, by the way, this is the map of the solar system we are in. We're over here, and various points of interest and ships will appear on the map. But that's not what we're looking for right now. Oh, over here where you can switch the filter from all resources, there is resource display settings. And the Hyperium, I don't want to be notified about it because we are not a ship. And the hull stabilizer is built, but it needs to be supplied with steel plates. That's what those steel plates we started with, that we trade a few away from R4. Establish water security. Build the following objects. Water collector. This water collector reclaims water vapor from the air and condenses it back to liquid water. Place it close to grow beds for maximum efficiency. Well, we're not going to have any grow beds for a little bit. And water purifier transforms ice into purified water, essential for many life forms. More water can be acquired by mining ice asteroids and purifying the ice with the water purifier facility. Once built, you can assign a refining job, purify ice to water, by selecting the water purifier facility and opening the refine tab. Okay, so for that, let's start expanding the hull even more, because I do know we're gonna need an industrial section. So let's make a the hallway like that. I'm actually going to cancel a little bit of hull here. Oh. Let's cancel this one out. That's a bit more than we need at the moment. Okay, and we have a new derelict that arrived in the system. In fact, I think we might have a... No, this is the same ship we already talked with. But there is a new derelict. Are they giving us a mission for it? No. A lot of times the NPC ships will give you missions for the derelicts that arrive, but not yet. So we're not gonna go visit the derelict just yet. And over here we have a lot of scrap that is arriving from the derelict that we've been stripping. But we've got a few projects at home. I was trying to build out this little bedroom, and I want to build the water area. We do still have 12 liquid water, so we can take a little bit of time and complete some of the projects before having to hurry into the water processor. And another derelict has arrived. So these are random. Sometimes you'll get a lot of them, sometimes you'll get none for a while. Okay. It shows me that they cannot reach this area because it's blocked by this bed. So we're gonna move that bed in here. And we're gonna move this bed over there. Yep. We're gonna build a wall and a door, so that will be a separate room. Oh, I cannot build it yet because the beds are in the way. Okay, now we can add that door. And this will be a tiny little barracks. Under furniture, I can also build a bedside table, which when placed in between beds is gonna give a little bit of sleep comfort. And if I go to overlays, and go to the miscellaneous overlay and select the room types, this should be a small barracks. There we go. With the door built, it has turned into a small barracks. So that makes visitors, if visitors were to sleep in there, they would be a little happier and they would pay us a little more in tips. But that's not where we're not ready for that yet. I'm gonna add another little bit of hall over here, because we do have one more bed to move in there. We can put that like that. And I want another of the nightstands. They have a very short radius, they only affect the beds next to them. But now if we're looking at the sleep comfort, it is actually positive over here. They get 12 from the beds and 5 from the table. Over here where the other bed is going to be placed, they would only get 12 from the beds until we build the table. So that's why I'm putting a table next to each of the beds. Now, to improve the meal area, I'm gonna move this oxygen generator. Let's see, where can we put that? Yeah, and keep building more and more hull, which is could be problematic because I am burning through my hull blocks. And plus, it all depends on the build pod, which is also over here dismantling the derelict. So you see, the derelict is disappearing off map. They can still access it, but I can't see most of it already. But they do return. They do return to base before that becomes inaccessible. Don't have to micromanage them. And there's another derelict that arrived. Okay, maybe we need to. Maybe we need to go visit those derelicts. But unfortunately, we have so much to build also. There's a lot of jobs to do. Why is this not stabilizing the ship? Should be generating all stability. And I guess Felix is exhausted from working on the derelict, so he's taking a midday nap during his work shift. Okay, it is rest and sleep time for them. So let's let them do that. And then in the morning, after they have their morning coffee, I'm gonna go explore one of the derelicts. Because there's something on the derelicts that might help us with the amount of work that needs to be done around the base. Okay, it's morning time. Let them enjoy their leisure time, chat a little. Grant is having his coffee. And they're getting to work. I do want to let Felix fix this thermal regulator because it did break and it needs maintenance. Because I don't want the cold to damage the backup power battery. But I'm gonna... No, you return home. I don't want you to go to the derelict, well, to the one we're salvaging. Okay, and let's select everybody. Draft them and have them get into the shuttle. Wait for this pod to dock. Okay, Freya, you're getting drafted too, and off we go. Now, I'm not gonna go to the derelict that is still half of the map. Let's check this one out. This one is tough. It's large, so more enemies. But also the only ingress point is this airlock, which, like I said, not my favorite way to approach these because you're very confined when you arrive. But let's see what happens. Oh, and it's bots. I don't wanna mess with bots right now because they have a ranged attack, and yep, they are zapping our people. So, oh no, not mean to get them out of the ship. Meant to grab the ship, and we're gonna go to this other derelict. Right now we have 3 of them. We've got our picks, so let's see if we find one that has aliens, not bots. Don't need to open that door. We can see what's on both sides since it's all wrecked. And this one's did not have any enemies. That is somewhat rare. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of loot here. We're gonna grab all the loot, including 2 hull blocks. That's a nice find there. And more energy for the generator. And we're gonna transfer that. I'm not gonna bother scrapping it. because there's a lot of work to do, but I will get the loot that is just ready-made. Maybe we'll scrap it later. And we have a new visitor. Let's see what they're trading. Nothing we can really afford to. Actually, this incendiary grenade launcher, we can sell that, and those I almost never see at a premium, so we're just gonna sell it at the normal price. And they're not giving anything on discount. So we'll just take money for it. Oh, and they have a mission, so they want us to salvage CS Ladesh, which is this one, the one with the bots. And they're willing to pay a few things if we clear it of monsters and enemies and salvage the energy scrap and the tech scrap. I'm not gonna do that mission right now. Like I said, we have a lot of things that we need to do at home, and we're getting a call from the Android Collective. Typically, when you get these calls, they are in dire need of something, so let's see what they're asking for. Can you assist us? They want 3 steel plates. We have only 6 left, so I'm not gonna... It's a good deal, but because I don't have any way to produce them, I'm gonna decline for now. And if you're enjoying this and want future episodes on your feed, please remember to subscribe to the channel. I play and try many games, but which ones end up as videos on this channel is greatly determined by which ones you folks enjoy and are most interested in. Since we have people who are idle because our build pod is over... You know what? We've scavenged enough from this, so I'm gonna stop the scavenge there. We have things we need built at the base. Let's take Grant, draft him, and go over here to claim this area. It's not defended by anything, so Grant can handle that solo. And the area is claimed, so now we could build and harvest the resources there. And we do have the one with aliens, and there's 4 of them, so maybe I want more than just 1 or 2 people. So we won't do that yet. It's a far distance away, it's not like we're gonna expand in that area just yet. And a new ship has arrived. Okay, they would pay extra for medical supplies. And they're selling discount nuts and seeds and artificial meats, so let's buy... We're gonna sell 1 medical supplies and buy all the money we have worth of those. Trying to get a little bit of positive value by taking advantage of the selling expensive things, buying cheap things from her passing by. And we have the first mineable asteroid, this one over here. Now, we can only mine these base metals because the exotic ore and the basic ore requires us to have a refinery or an ore processor, which we don't have yet, but we will grab those 3 things. That gives our miners something to do with the mining pod while we're waiting for the building to happen. And I'm getting a warning that we're critically low on hull blocks. We are down to 4 of them. We've been building quite a bit. And Hyperion has a mission for us as well. Let's see what they want. Retrieve perished crew members. So they sent some people over to one of the derelicts and they got killed. CNHS Jaybird. which is this one, which has now fully drifted. You know what? That's something we'll do, because it's fairly small. I'm hoping even if there's bots, there's not that many. This might be a bad decision, but we will accept this one for 2 veggies and 2 fruits. We have 5 hours to accept, and we're about to head into sleep time. They're already on their dinner time. So I'm gonna watch this. Oh, we have a new mission from Nighthawk. Salvage CNHS Jaybird. I like the retrieve perished team members better. So I'm gonna to give us as much time as we can to complete the mission, because we only have 1 day to bring the bodies back. Actually, I'm not sure if this timer starts when we clear it or right away. But in any case, I'm gonna watch this timer and only accept when it's down to 1 hour. Okay. Accepted that. Let's see. Yeah, and generally you won't have 2 missions. You won't be able to take 2 missions for the same derelict. I'm not sure if that's because it timed out or just because we accepted the other one. Okay. Morning coffee time, and then we are heading over to the derelict to retrieve some corpses. Okay, everybody's getting drafted and into the shoal. Let's cross our fingers and hope for aliens, not bots. Okay, nice big wrecked area there that we can dock with. Oh, lots of blood spatter on this derelict. Hopefully that's not our fate too. And it's aliens. Easy. Yeah, they're smart enough to not try to come to us. So let's bait. Grant is being bait. Even though he's already a little bit injured, he's got his chronic wound, which needs a medical bed, so that's also something we need to build. Okay, let's take Felix. Thankfully, it does seem that they don't accidentally shoot each other, or if it happens, it doesn't happen often enough that I noticed it. Oh, Felix got bit too. Too focused on talking and not micromanaging the movement. We killed a lot of aliens there. Okay, CNHS Jaybird is done, so we're gonna... I'm gonna momentarily continue drafted, because I want to check this. I don't know if you get the secret stashes. You do get the item after you discover, so nano wound dressing, okay. And then those are the bodies that we need to retrieve, I think. Are they bodies? 'Cause they do have a health bar still. Okay, well, let's select everybody. Undraft the shell as well. And we'll let them do their thing, because they know what to transfer and where. So yeah, these 2 are already tagged for transfer. And we're gonna select all the rest of the loot other than the alien bodies and send that home. Now this one does have some tech scrap. So I'm gonna scrap the tech stuff off of it. I'm not gonna bother with the hull right now because we don't have a way to process it. This one is low on tech. Maybe let's get the tech from this one as well. Okay, and they're gonna do their thing. Yeah, those medical beds that they had, those count as tech scrap, I guess. And there's a couple of the NPCs just chilling on the derelict. Hopefully they don't end up suffocating. But we'll find out if we need to save them in the next episode. For now, thank you for watching. Aleki out.